Welcome to another episode of What's Cooking in My House. So, tonight, we're not really cooking, we're kind of just making something. We're going to make some pesto. Again, another favorite in my household. So, I'm starting with 2 cups of freshly picked basil. I've already picked it, washed it. I used the salad spinner to dry it. If you don't want to use a salad spinner, you could just pat it dry with some paper towel. I'll set that over here. So we have 2 cups freshly picked basil. We're going to do 3 tablespoons of pine nuts. And I kind of like pine nuts, so I'm going to do a little bit more. So we have 2 cups of basil, 3 tablespoons of pine nuts. I'm going to add a pinch of salt. It's just a pinch at this point because when we add the cheese, it will add more salt to it. So we have the salt. Now we're going to do half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. So, with that, then we have 2 cloves of garlic. And I'm going to use a garlic press. If you don't have a garlic press, you can chop it up finely and then put it in. But with a garlic press, I don't have to chop it. It makes it really fine. One. And 2. All right, so this is ready to blend at this point. So we have our basil, we have our pine nuts, pinch of salt, some garlic. Now we're going to mix that. You just want to make a paste. And it's kind of to taste your texture that you like, but you just want to mix that into a paste. And we'll take that out of the food processor. And this is something that freezes really well. In late summer, when my basil is about at its end, I harvest what I can, then I'll put them in little containers and freeze them. That way during the winter, we can pull out some nice pesto. So I'm going to put a little bit in here for my wife before we add the cheese. So get all that basil and pine nut oil. Get that in there. Now, next thing you want to add is some softened butter. In a regular batch, you do 3 tablespoons, and this is, I went ahead and measured it beforehand, so it's 3 tablespoons. So we get that in there, and we will fold it in. You want to use, you don't want to beat it or treat it too roughly. So you just want to kind of fold that in. Better do this one before we get the cheese in there. There we go. So the cheese. So we have about a half a cup of Parmigiano Reggiano. And that's going to give, it might be a little more than half a cup, but it's okay. And that's going to give it kind of a creamy texture. And then pecorino. And this is going to add some salt and some texture to it. And then again, we're just going to fold this in. Now, the cheese I grated beforehand. Now you can buy cheese already grated, but I think it makes a difference in the texture, and I think it also makes a difference in the taste, as well as a lot of places when they pre-grate it or shred the cheese, they often add like sawdust or something to keep it from sticking together. And this way, if you buy it in the big chunks, it's just cheese. You're just going to fold that in. It's going to mix that butter. Cheese. And a favorite at our house. You can add this to pasta. You can add it to sandwiches. Or you can just eat it. That is a good pesto. So, thank you for joining me for another cooking class, or cooking show. And as they say in Italy, non sei vecchio alla tavola. You don't age at the table. And that is what is cooking at my house.